How's it going, everyone? You know what? We're streaming every day this week. It's just gonna happen. I'm just gonna just accept it. It's my body's ready. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's go. Welcome, PulseChain. Welcome. You like the elevated voice level? You like it when I talk loud? Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tone it down a little bit because that's not my normal voice. And we're gonna talk PulseChain. It's fun stuff. 30 minutes, action packed. Got a solo stream for you today, and a few things to go over. So give me just a minute, still prepping. Teeing a few things up to talk about. And one of the biggest things is the shakeout. The shakeout that's been occurring over the past, I want to say a full year at least, which has been pretty incredible to watch. Incredible in a tragic, bad way. It's just like, man, it's one of those, one of those things where tell people, you try to share, inspire, and you really want the best for people. And it's just like it's just so hard not to wreck yourself. So hard. However, even if you do temporarily wreck yourself, you can maybe de-wreck yourself. There could be a de-reckoning. There could be. There certainly could be. One of the ways to not de-wreck yourself is to do this. Don't do this. Don't do that. That's not a de-reckoning. The de-reckoning doesn't start with "Please, Richard, just one more live stream, and then I'll buy the hex." It doesn't start with that. It's not the way it starts. Oh, let's see to my end. Why is it not showing the? Let me switch here. Huh, why is it not showing the one? One sec. It's showing differently on my screen. I'll show you the full picture there. Oh, did not click it on this one. My bad. Yeah, this one. This is, yeah, not that one. Not that one. Give me just a moment here while you let that soak in. The de-reckoning. There's still a time. I've not seen a lot of people. I wonder, and let me know in chat, are you buying the core coins when they're below SAC price? Do you believe that is a good deal? From what I understand, from a lot of people I talk to, it seems like if you're buying below SAC, you may be getting an even better deal than people who bought at the sacrifice phase. Just one of those things I've heard people say, Also, I think this might be happening. Again, but more favorable poll than before. Before I did the poll and everyone was like, got some, I think I remember some comments like, no more conference. We don't need more conferences, which is always very confusing to me. It's like, I want more conferences. I want as many conferences as humanly possible. I want great people running conferences and as many as we can get to do. I hope to inspire other people and people who've ran them before and who've taken a break or who've never did it before to get out there and start pumping out content, start getting people together to put out even better content. That's what I want to do. So pretty cool there. Again, bear with me for just a moment. And I'm thinking of the dates. I haven't quite settled on the dates. I think it's going to be in July. It's looking like around July time period, which would be pretty cool because we have, Maddie talked about the PulseChain conference in June. So if that happens, then we'll have May, June, and July, 3 months of conferences, which is pretty cool, actually. It's a conference 3 months in a row. How, I wouldn't want to do them like, I wouldn't want to have it. Every day probably shouldn't be a conference, but if we have them every few weeks or every month or every quarter, that'd be pretty cool. I think that's a pretty good cadence. Also did a heat check. Heat check, is it buy in May and pray or sell in May and go away? Turns out most of you seem to be, if you're not buying, you're thinking about buying, or at least you believe the sentiment of these are some good prices that may double, triple, or quadruple in the future. Pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. Just a second here. I want to find this poll and I'll get into the other topics as well. I got a few things to go through. How you doing out there, Hexaco? Let me know. Let me know how your day's going, how your week's been going. I'm going to keep writing this awesome hit of community, of collectiveness. We've seen some green in the price charts. We've seen some amazing talks at the conference, like the one by Cairo Copeland, who apparently has been introduced to the community. I don't know how much he's interacted before. I'm not sure if he's been on stream, but man, his TED Talk is like an excellent piece of like 18 minutes. I was listening to it again today, and it's just like he has so much passion, so much enthusiasm, and so much just like, listen up, Hexaco. Like it was great. I think everyone really enjoyed that at the conference too. One of my favorite talks, one of my favorite tones, I think, set to. So pretty amazing. So much has been happening. It's actually been hard to cover because I've been doing a conference, and then also all kinds of stuff. The RH video dropped the day after. When SEC stuff happened I didn't even paying attention until RH said it. I didn't even know 5/5/25, the first day of the conference, was also when the SEC dismissal deal came too. So pretty amazing. I'm like scrolling back through myself to look at some of the different things that I was going to talk about before, but I had to put on hold because of doing the conference and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to save myself this one before we get into it. Also had this poll. I have a few polls that are pretty good too. So might go shopping for some PulseChain coins. Which core coins will X the most from here? So this was a few days ago. So Hex, 42% hit Hex. Solid number 2 is PulseX. And then I'm not sure if that was a mix of eHex, or some people may include most or otherwise. There's rumors here and there of what may or may not be core coins or officials or otherwise, but people seem to be pretty bullish on the Hex token and all the coins as well. But the most X's, got about 500 votes on that. Pretty solidly ahead on the Hex and PulseX, at least taking up the majority of the votes on that. So that's pretty cool. Also wanted to comment on this one. Nice post from ByteWrath. The PulseChain comeback is on. Richard's return arc is here. Just look at this comment. People are starting to realize. If you haven't watched the video, by the way, the clip Somi posted, or Somi and maybe other people posted. Yeah, I remember. Shout out to everyone. Can't remember everyone's posts and stuff all the time. But really cool piece that ran. If you didn't watch, by the way, ran that interview. Type in, I forget who he did it with, but just type in Crypto Man Ran interview on YouTube. He did an hour or so interview with this guy, and it's super good, super interesting. I mean, whether you like the guy or not, he has got a lot of interesting ideas, and really cool to see kind of how he thinks about things. And one of the things he talked about, I remember in the video, was where part of his routine, he gets up, he consumes a bunch of content, and he makes that, I guess he incorporates that in a show, what he wants to talk about. He talks about all this stuff. So I had that frame of reference when I was watching this clip, because he's like, I was at the gym or something watching and listened to the RH video. So he watched, it sounds like, the whole entire video. And that now he's putting on his show and talking about it as if it's noteworthy. So again, all these people who, we haven't given them a lot of stuff to talk about yet. Why would they talk about PulseChain right now? unless some major stuff happens, like RH making videos or RH returns or green charts popping off the bubbles. Green bubbles. So green they break it. They just take up the entire screen. They break the browser. Your monitor stops working. That's the green candles I want. But the comment that he highlights here is, I never owned any of his coins, but man, this is the greatest comeback story in the history of crypto. With a Bitcoin avatar. You're not bullish enough. You are not bullish enough. Say hi to chat real quick. We'll move on. Red Squirrel, how's it going, man? Alien Tech Secrets, God candles incoming. I wouldn't doubt it. I don't know when. I don't know where. But I know God candles exist, and I want them. And if we could just be the 69 pack strong, hashtag 69 pack, the chat of House Donner deploys. He deploys capital of abs when he enters the chat each and every time, sometimes misspelled. Kind of looks like ChatGPT in a minute. Then maybe we'll win that hard as well. Gifford, how's it going, man? Nice job at the conference. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Buenos dia. Yes, it is beautiful. Hopefully, what is it? What's the word? Bonita dia. Beautiful day. I don't know if that's a real phrase people use, but there are two Spanish words. Buenos dias. Good day as well. Pulse look good today. I dare look at the price chart because every time I do, I don't want to. I don't want to look at the price chart. I let X tell me when price is good, and I just keep scrolling if they say price is bad. Unless I'm going to buy. When I look at the price chart, I've said this a million times. When I want to buy, when I want to sell, or if I have some leverage position that I need to maintain. Other than that, I don't care. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to trick myself in these cheap dopamine hits. I don't want it. Better stuff to do. So I believe you though. Thanks for the update. Lucky Luke 369. Awesome. Yes. Wild SJ appears. Very nice to see you, SJ. If you haven't seen the Who is Richard Hart segment that me, her, and Cryptic Girl did, it was really good. It really is pretty touching, very touching session we did, about 15-20 minutes or so. We could probably went on for an hour talking about all the amazing experiences and ideals we have and the things that Richard are about and why we're here and all these different things. But I think we really, in the time we had, we really nailed it. That's a really good one. So appreciate you joining me for that one. And hopefully we'll maybe want to do more streams about Richard and stuff too, which people probably care more about when they don't dislike him so much. They don't make up reasons to not like him, have all these grievances and stuff. He's actually a pretty cool guy who's just extremely ambitious, and he's willing to take the hits. So he's a hero. That's what he is. Heroes don't need to be locked 24/7. That's probably just part of being a hero, I imagine. Kudos for the conference. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. It was a really fun one. I'm probably going to do it again. It's looking that way. I've already started planning the PulseX conference. Let's get some PulseX bumping, right? Apparently, I don't know. You could speculate that's Richard's favorite coin at this point. He keeps talking about it the most. Ink, what everyone say? Ink got 0 airtime on the video clip. Did he mention Ink? I think that's the big thing. Is he didn't mention Ink, but he sure as heck mentioned PulseX. So, all right. What's up, Archie? Welcome. Good job at the conference. Amazing effort. A real action man, not just a talker. That is a very astute observation and something I want to do. I want to lead by example. I like in these decentralized communities, permissionless building. I don't think we need more leaders. I talked about this at the conference. I think we need more action. We need more people willing to do the hard thing, willing to shut up and be positive. Willing to, and this is not again, everyone express themselves in all these different ways, but there's a difference in expressing yourself and, stating some facts and being objective and telling hard truths and all that stuff. There's a difference in that and just literally, a pattern of just fudding and being negative and being a net negative to the community. Like there's a difference between the two. And you got to strike a balance or else you're going to fit in one side or the other. So, yeah, that's how it goes. So I really, I think leadership is it's this really centralized ideal that is so innate to humans that I think we need to be very careful about trying to apply to communities. Because again, I didn't come here to have a boss. I don't want to have a boss. I don't want to be the boss of anyone else. I want us all to collectively be aligned and go towards, as much as possible. Again, it's never going to be 100%, much as possible towards a common goal. And that is glory. If you haven't heard it before. All right, skip off the chat for a minute. We're going to get on to it because I only got about 10 more minutes or so. Brissology, he says a lot of smart things from time to time. He did a great ink talk at the conference as well. And he also mentioned 12% APRs. Looks like on those stables, on the USDT and the PLS. So farming not dead on the Pulse chain. Go to gorealdefi.com if you want easy, big buttons. Click X. Could be easier. Click exchange. Click farm at the top. Scroll down, and you can see DAI 12.13%, 12.65%. USDT 12. You got USDC just under 10. You got WETH here around 6%, and you got the Hex around 1% or sub 1% on ink farms, and sub 1% for the Pulse and PulseX farms. But there's some there, and there's also the stable swap. Let's check in stable swap. They used to be around 10%. What does it look like today? Let's let top pools load. May take a second or two. Maybe we'll come back to this in just a second. In the meantime, I really like this Naval quote. Fast, lift, sprint, stretch, meditate. Build, sell, write, create, invest, own. Almost sounds like seed phrases, seed words. Read, reflect, love, seek truth, and ignore society. Make these habits. Say no to everything else. Avoid debt, jail, addiction, disgrace, shortcuts, and media. Relax. Victory is assured. I love it. Reminder to he also has some great quotes around. Do things that basically aren't quick dopamine hits. Do things that don't have downsides. I forget how he says it, but that has a lot of really cool stuff like that too. So may victory be yours today. May it be. All right. It's not loading. Probably it's definitely on my end, I'm sure. But let's try it one more time. Here we go. Fresh, working, and we got about 3%. Stablecoin pulls 3%. Okay. Was there I wonder if we have a chart, liquidity chart. People start adding that actually went down. Interesting. Well, and it's still around 3.5%. Not terrible. Better than some banks, you might say. Even better than what Hex is paying for, depending on the stakes. If you're staking out 5555, you can, just gotta. All right, real quick, we'll go to Hex Calc. See what you're getting on. Let's say you got 1 million Hex. 3, 1, 2, 3, 5555. Let's say it does a 100x. And let's see what happens. So what is it paying? Percent APY 5%. So it looks like 5555 paying around 5%. In there, look what happens. Look, could you have a $6,000 investment go to in 15 years? If it did 100x in 15 years, it could go to $1 million. Well, imagine what the liquidity is going to be like in 15 years. Like if Hex and PulseChain, like they do everything we want them to do, thrive, people keep building protocols on them. You got Communis, you got Actuator, you got Hedron. We haven't even seen Hedron V2 yet. Super exciting stuff. Hedron Acosta stuff. All these different protocols keep building layers and layers and layers. People locking up, incentivizing delayed gratification, incentivizing liquidity, and maybe if price goes up a whole ton and then things stabilize over time, and who knows about the percentages go up and down. Imagine, like, what if we have, millions, tens of millions of dollars of liquidity, hundreds of millions in hex later on, if we get to dollars instead of just this sub penny. Come on stuff, the sub penny stuff. Let's get to dollars. What's the dollar hex? Let's do it. Just to remind everyone too, if you haven't seen this, really good clip. We're going to get to the topic. I'm going to get to the topic. We're going to spend about 5 minutes on the topic, but I'm going to get there. Got a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff I can get to cover because I did the conference. A lot of stuff. This is really good. I talked about Interpol yesterday. If you haven't seen it, go watch the stream yesterday. It's worth a watch. Some key parts of it as well. I got the clip here. If you want the short version of the Interpol part, and I asked, Mr. Herbs, hey, you got any commentary on this? I think this is pretty easy. It looks pretty straightforward. And I go into like the different ways. It could be tax exempt, the sacrifice stuff. It could be he may not be a Finnish resident, and there may be all these different ways of how this case could go away pretty easily on the tax fraud stuff because it just doesn't apply. And as usual, Dr. Herbs to the rescue. I think we have to either believe one of two things. A 145 IQ founder who meticulously plans everything had no idea that he would need to do some serious tax planning with regard to a 6 to 10 figure influx of money and somehow didn't plan for that inevitability. Or not that. Pretty sure he's a big brain. Pretty sure big brain. Plan for that. So I'm not worried about Interpol. You can worry about Interpol all you want. I think it's there's some obvious way. I did ChatGPT for like 10 minutes and I came up with like 2 or 3 case closed types of stuff that are like obvious. And he's got a Chad sacked legal team that's probably been working on this for months at this point. Yeah. Not even on the radar anymore. Like it's barely even it's such a sham thing. It's such an obvious way for it to go away. And again, no guarantees it does, but it's like, it makes all the sense in the world that this could totally go away. So not nearly as worried about it as it seemed worryable a few weeks or so ago, once you start actually thinking about it, not fighting yourself. Just one live stream. I swear I'll buy more hacks. Oh, good stuff. Real quick takeaway. This is a great thread too. Goes over a few different things. And actually, when I read the first one, when I watched Richard's video for the second time, because I said he'd absolutely be posting more of these, at least make a video and run through the stuff. And then I think I listened to it again. I was like, whoa, he actually says that there's no reason I can't make more of these. He says something like that. And I totally missed it the first time. So yeah, I'm say if you should listen to it a second time. You'll pick up on things that you didn't hear the first time, or get a different perspective. PulseX is sleeping giant. If you become the king, you're going to lose. Been preparing for this my whole life. Very powerful statement. The legal clarity is amazing. Again, hopefully crypto broadly realizes this. I think it'd be huge for us on a lot of different things. Having the legal clarity, exchange listings, people just talking about it in general. Coin ranking listings, like all centralized sites, if you think they're valuable, then like this is like a huge, come on, you have no reason not to. There's no delisting from Uniswap because SEC lack of clarity. You get clarity. There's clarity. PulseChain Ethereum. You can get a God candle at any moment. That was another really fun, amazing one. It's good to be back. Again, that's something I try not to read too much into until I realized that he said there's no reason I can't be recording more of these videos and stuff when I have thoughts and all that. Amazing. You aren't bullish enough. Indeed. All right, gonna wrap up. Gonna spend about 2 minutes on the main topic. That's what you want, right? Have you been shaken out of PulseChain? Got quite a number of votes in this. Over 1,200 votes. Okay, so 23%. What is that? It's about maybe 300 or so. Let's do 23% of, so what is it, 1270. 23% of 1270. 1270. Yeah, around 300. So 300 people who, if they honestly answered this poll, have been shaken out of PulseChain. Hundreds of people. And this is just the ones that answered the poll that actually, has saw this on X at the time when voting was alive. So it could be even more because if they've been shaken out, they probably aren't, following me or looking at X that much or looking at PulseChain stuff either. So make up your number of whatever you think is accurate, but hundreds of people over the last couple of years, or at least I would say the last year, 2024 is probably the easiest time to be shaken out, or late 2023. There's been a few times where you're like, all right, here's your out if you want it. Like, if you're not cool with this, and hundreds of people. And again, I hope they come back. I hope they buy the lows. I hope they get, madly rewarded for it. I have nothing against anyone who leaves this ecosystem. I totally get it. I totally understand it. It's not a normal place to be. It's just the way it is. It's just how it is. It is what it is. And there have been some bright spots. There's been some times where I'm like, yeah, I want to take a break too, because this is just ridiculous. Not so much about the prices and stuff. I mean, I think that's funny enough, the easiest thing to keep off my mind is like, don't care what the price is in May 2025, for example. When I care what prices are, I'm buying or selling generally. But just the ability to stay positive, to not let other people affect your peace, to stay away from the drama and toxicity when it's just right there so much, even when you're trying to do, your best to be a bright spot yourself and inspire others to do so. I get it. And, I came in this place again, following Richard since 2017. Hex, day 0, day 1, like all that, like whatever, however you want to say it. PulseChain, same thing. Streaming for 3 years now. You got North Star. That's what I talked about during the conference. What is your foundation? What is your North Star? Did you come here to get rich quick? Or did you come here because you believe in these ideals and you're willing to wait? I think it's the biggest difference in people in the ecosystem that stay and leave. Some can wait and some can't. And that's not bad. It's not good. It's not whatever. It's just, if you got out and sell and buy back lower and make a lot of money and you're a net positive ecosystem, okay. If you get out and things run up a lot and you either can't get back in or you got to buy higher, I mean, that happens in these asset classes as well. So whether you've been shaken out, whether you've been shaken in, whether this has emboldened you or helped you, or helped you make a decision to get out or otherwise, I wish you the best. And we get a lot more fun stuff coming up. Richard has alluded to a lot of things. There's plenty of strings to pull on. There's plenty of people here who want to make sure we win. So that's what gives me strength and confidence. And I'm here to win. So let's go win, right? Let's do it. We can do it. Why can't we do it? Why can't we do it? Instead of saying, how can we do it? Or instead of saying we can't do it, or how can we do it? I say, why can't we do it? We can. That's all I got for you today. Scivive 5555. We are out.